Welcome back, everybody. It's D with These Tackle Box, and I got something pretty cool for you guys today. Today we're talking about lipless crankbaits, and guess what? There's not a lot of information as far as when they were made and reviews and stuff like that from the older lures. There's a ton of new ones that have come out, since the 80s, 90s or whatever. But I have a handful of them that I wanted to show you guys and kind of talk about a little bit. But at the same time, I'm hoping that some of you guys might be able to give us some feedback as far as the information that's lacking here, because I went to go look for some information on some of these, like for example, the Lure Jensen Sugar Shad, and I was looking for specifically dates they were made and things like that, and what models and all that. But it's kind of hard to find that information unless you have catalogs for those things, or if you were collecting them and know a little bit more about them. So if you guys are doing that, help me out by giving me some of the information that we need so that we can, just pile it on to whatever facts we already have written down and put aside for these specific lures. It's always a good thing for us to just kind of share information, and I know that a lot of the times people look to us for information in regards to the old lures and things like that. But at the same time, I look to you guys for information on the things that I don't know about. And so we wanted to start this one off first with that one that I just mentioned, the Lure Jensen, the Sugar Shad. And if you notice, this little lure right here has a really cool profile. It looks like a rattle trap with the top fin out here. It changes that when it has a bottom one here. That's one of these lures that I went fishing with, and I caught, there's another video here that I caught a ton of bass with this one here, specifically with this lure. And I didn't know what brand it was. So when I went to go look for information or how to match it up to Google search thing, man, all it kept coming up was rattle traps, which we are going to talk about as well. But the Sugar Shad here, man, I don't know what it is about it. It has a different sound that just, it's a perfect lure for that bass fishing thing that we like to do. I really enjoyed fishing this lure. It did a lot of well for us, as far as it kept us busy that day, and I think it's a pretty cool lure. So if you guys know more information in regards to this one, a lot of people were calling it like the Rolls Royce of lipless crankbaits and stuff. I don't know if it's because of, hold on real quick. So I don't know if that's because these are, they have a different sound or whatever. But one thing that I did learn about them is that you can use these for trolling, for casting, fishing over flats, or maybe even in the weeds whenever they're not breaking the surface of the water. These seem to do really well as far as jimmying up in there and not getting all the hooks full of weeds and stuff. So a lot of people say that they're really good for fishing like those types of circumstances. And you can also fish them as a countdown lure because it does sink. And so a lot of times you can just cast them out there, wait for them to kind of sink, count them down, and then start cranking it back in. And seems to have some good backing when it comes to people's experience with this one lure here. I loved it. I enjoyed it. If you haven't seen it, go watch the other video. I'll put a link down here so y'all can see which one I'm talking about. But man, this was an amazing time with that one on the water. It's great for fall, especially when the bass are kind of like, a little finicky when it comes to that. The next one that we got is our Cotton Cordell. Where you at? Cotton Cordell Spot. Now, have you guys fished this one before? This is the older ones with the I think it has that, yeah, that one knocker type of the BBs or whatever. It's lacking that rattle, the high pitch rattle, but it has a very, very low thud. So this one is what, late 60s, early 70s, I believe is when this one came out. And you can see right there it says Cordell, and on the other side it has the name here, and it says Spot. So if you take a look at these lures and try them out, you'll find out that like this one, they have a different sound, and sometimes that's what your bass are waiting for, something different. And that one fits very well with this, which one is it? I found one here. Most of these have the multiple rattles, but I did find this one here I don't know if many of y'all have used this one, but this is a Norman Enticer. And so I think this one is like a 1/2 ounce one. But these are made in the US and they're discontinued as well. You know, most of these lures that I'm showing you guys are going to be discontinued, I think. This one has a beautiful color. It's kind of hard to focus in on this right here. Let me see. There you go. But it's got a beautiful color. It's a fluorescent red, kind of like the color selector stuff. Black back. So you can hear this rattle. It has less rattles than the other ones that I'm used to hearing, but it's gonna go into the box so we can try them out and see what happens. We have next up is a vintage Diamond Key. What is it? Strike King Diamond Shad, and this one also has a different tone. And from what I understand, a lot of the reviews that I saw and things like that talked about how good these lures were. And then you step back and look at a couple of other different reviews, and some of the guys were just like, man, that is impossible to tune to make it run right. So I don't know, what do you guys think? This sounds like it has a box of those candy nerds inside. That's what it sounds like, man. It's a bunch of rattles in there. So we'll see how that one does. That one was what, probably mid 90s, I believe. 80s, 90s, late 80s, mid 90s, something like that. And then it was discontinued. So those, from what I understand, are sought after by some, not so much by others. But then again, that's what happens with all the lures that we find, right? There's specific crowds of people that look for specific types of lures. Some swear that that's the only ones that catch bass for them. I just try all of them. I love this stuff. I love trying the old lures, the new stuff. But I do, you know, have a little bit of more of a lean towards the older gear. So something like this, which is your Strike King, what is it? No, Excalibur XR50S. It has a different sound as well, but from what I gathered, it's more of a modern lure as far as the lipless thing goes. And a lot of the guys that swear by these love the way that this one produces. So definitely gonna drop this one in my box and try it out as well. If you guys know more or less the year this one was made, I would like to find out. I don't know much about the newer stuff like that. Like sometimes when they're, you know, over 80s and 90s, they just kind of lose, you know, it's hard to find the information that I'm looking for, because I think these are still made, maybe, I'm not sure. But it does have a nice rattle to it, so I'm gonna try those out. There's another one here that I had a hard time finding the maker for this one, but the color tells me that it had to be bomber related, bomber lures. So I did find a bomber, what is it, baked Bonanza, and I found one in pumpkin seed, looks just like this. So I'm not sure if that's exactly what it is. It's not a Cordell spot, I don't think, because the Cordells that I found, or you know what, it might be one of those Cordells that I found have the little eyes like this, kind of, you know, inset on the body, and this one has the eyeballs just kind of sticking out. You see that angle? And I thought this was a bomber lure because of the color. I could be wrong, so if I'm wrong, you guys help me out. It has a really nice sound as well. We're gonna go ahead and drop this one in here too, and it's a really beautiful lure actually. Look at that. I love the color and the way that they covered the whole lure with that color. What do you think? Of course, when we're talking about lipless crankbaits, you can't not mention the original Mr. Bill Lewis Rattle Trap. And the Rattle Traps, some of the guys that I know here that fish Lake Fork, man, they have an assortment of these. I actually bought a whole box full of these, and there was just so many different colors, and a lot of them were still in the clamshells. I think those were what, I want to say 60s, 70s. No, maybe like 75 to 80s, something like that. But they're beautiful lures, man. Look at the pattern on that. You can see all those BBs in there moving around, all those little rattles and stuff in there. But it has a great sound to it. And since its introduction, I guess, to the fishing world, there's been so many people that swear by these lures. So this is one that I had never used until I moved back over here to this area of Texas. When I used to fish down south, it was all bingos and you know, different other stuff for the surf and things like that. These came to hear about when I was fishing out at these lakes, and everybody's like, "Hey, have you tried a rattle trap?" And I'm like, "Nope, never fished one." "Have you tried a rattle trap?" "No, I've never used one." Until I finally paid attention to one of my buddies that said, "You know what? If you want to find the fish and where they're at, throw a rattle trap. You'll find them, and then you can try the other stuff that you, according to what you're trying to look for as far as size and all that good stuff goes." But this is a beautiful lure, man. It's got a transparent body. It's got a little, kind of like a holographic finish or whatever to it. It's pretty cool. Look at that. Looks like it's bleeding. But this is your original, and will always be the original Rattle Trap by Mr. Bill Lewis. But as a little bonus, I did come across something a little bit more interesting, which I just thought it was pretty cool, man. This right here is a Zebco, and you see the number 24 on there. This is let me see, I believe it was Jeff Gordon NASCAR series, and they had a trio of these lures that came together in a little package, and you can buy the trio package separately, or you could I believe there was also a rod and reel combo that included the trio like this. And this had a popper, a crankbait, and this lipless one. And I think that was a pretty cool, neat little deal. Has a very, very high pitch, very, very different sound to it. It's got a little tiny top fin up here. But I'm thinking that Zebco probably, you know, did a couple of combos or special combos or stuff like that when it came to their lures, because you don't see many Zebco lures. So this is probably a generic body or something that got sprayed down and marketed for them, I'm thinking. It says 2004, what is it, 2004 Jeff Gordon, and then M something, I don't know what it is, JGM. So this is a pretty interesting piece. I had another set that had the trio but without the NASCAR influence, and that was pretty cool. I think I sold that one already, but just a nice little treat for you guys. This is a Zebco hard bait, so pretty cool, huh? Now next time that we get together, I want to talk to y'all a little bit about a couple of topwater lures that have come from Japan that we've used and actually tested and things like that, and I wanted to put them out there so that y'all guys can see, you know, what kind of lures they're producing. And there's always a lot of fishing influence coming out of Japan as well. Some people like to follow those. Some people stick to the traditional old classics and stuff like that. I do as well. But right up here, there's one shelf, two shelves up there with nothing but Japanese lures that we've gotten from a couple of different friends of ours. And so stay tuned as we continue to gather up as much info as we can and bring this stuff to you guys here through our channel. I appreciate Retro Bassin. Wanted to shout out to you for giving us a little plug over there on your channel. As far as that goes, we're always looking forward to you know, dealing with different people, and I hope that the information that we share with you guys helps you guys look into your tackle box, pick out a lure, and relate to the videos that you're watching with us. There's always information that I can learn from you guys, and there's always a lot of people willing to share that information. So we look forward to all of that as we continue to grow our channel. So thanks for the plug, Retro, and I appreciate everybody else that's lined up and followed up on the YouTube channel here. And so till next time, this is D's Tackle Box signing off. Fish out.